It was foggy. I can see this deer. He was 243 yards for laser range. Find a new laser in for
Yeah.
And the 6.5 Creedmoor to me just didn't do the trick. So
We were out here tracking for about an hour and a half, and we called our crime or deer scene investigator out. Last Minute Man, and we are here today on the back porch. I'm with my good buddy, Mr. Obvious. And Mr. Obvious, what are we talking about today?
Oh man, we're going to be talking about out in the woods, deer hunting, gear, some stuff on, I guess,
Hunting tactics.
hunting tactics out in the woods, you'd say.
Yeah, and this was something that was recommended by one of our viewers, Sweetson, and we hope we're pronouncing that right. But he said he'd like to see something on hunting tips, things that Mr. Obvious and I think about when we're in the deer woods. So we're going to bring that to you today and just talk about everything from calibers to Gucci gear to whatever whatever we can think of here. So comment below if we miss anything or something that you do different. We like to hear from everybody. So without any further ado here, we'll start out with my number one thing: location. And so what do I mean by that? Are you hunting medium range like this, with a little bit of tree cover and some open space? Are you hunting in thick woods with dense brush and a lot of twigs and limbs? Or does your hunt look like this, with open fields, 400 plus yard shots? Obvious, would you like to elaborate?
Yeah, I guess your location, where you going to set up at? You're going to be in the, I guess, woods, the fields, city, countryside.
Well, if you're in the city, don't be hunting those deer.
Yeah,
That's someone's dog.
Yeah,
But yeah, if you're in a place that is not hospitable to deer, it's a bad environment for deer, you're obviously not going to see deer there. So some simple things you want to look for: water source. Is there cover for the deer? Is there a food source for the deer?
I have good food source.
So all those things. Predators in the area. Is it a place that's overrun with coyotes?
Yeah.
Things like that. Those are all things to consider when you're out there looking for your trophy. Now, when I purchased this farm, Mr. Obvious came out and looked over it with me, and he was kind of telling me his thought process on where the deer would be, and kind of explained that to us, Mr. Obvious.
Yeah, I look for the way the land lays over my past, I guess, 40 years, 45 years of hunting deer. I look for the funnels, the ridges, just the way the deer, they come in. They come in different ways. They funnel in, and they usually have a path, and all the path is like a big wagon wheel spoke. They all come into one central location. If you got big enough farm that you can actually see that on the wood. So kind of like get in that central location in the center where it all funnels in. So wherever they come, you want to be right in that area.
Well, and again, water source is a big deal.
Water source and crop cover, food, everything.
Right. So back here, I've got springs. I've also got some ponds out here, and we've got some wet weather streams out here. So certain times of year, deer might be hanging around a particular area, but there are certain areas that I always know you're going to find deer.
You got to be able to hold the deer there too.
Right.
So you got to hold the does to get the bucks. So you need good cover crop. If you ain't got it, you have to buy it and make you little plots. To hold them door. If you hold the doe, the buck's going to come looking for them.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to hold them somehow. If in your state you're allowed to bait them, corn.
Nothing works better. You feel like you're cheating, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm going to sound silly here, but I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that for my nephew, so he would get his first buck, and he did. He got his first buck. I told him after that, you're going to have to do things. You got to earn it from now on. The hard way. And like myself, I don't even hunt with a modern rifle anymore. I wait for muzzleloader, and that's the way I like to hunt. Because if I'm going to get, and I should probably get more into bow hunting, because if I'm going to get a deer, I'm going to earn it, and it's going to be a trophy. And but where you hunt and the time of year you hunt can also affect how you hunt and what you hunt with. Like we were discussing, certain states don't allow bottleneck cartridges. So something like a 308 here, you can't even hunt with that.
In certain
That is
states.
illegal in certain states. So you have to use things like a shotgun, or my 4570 is an excellent one. They've got the 444 Marlin, which is great.
375 Winchester.
Yeah, there's a lot of straight wall cartridges out there. What's the new one we were looking at in the
350 Legend.
350 Legend? That actually sounds like a really cool round to me.
Bushmaster, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
stuff like that.
44 Magnum.
But again, out in my woods, in the thick brush and stuff, a slug barrel shotgun with some good slugs in it is not a bad idea. I mean, that will maintain its trajectory. If you hit a twig heading towards that deer, it's not going to deflect it. So it is a good brush gun. A 4570, excellent brush gun. When you start getting into Spitzer style bullets and things, you're going to get more deflection. So that's really going to change what your consideration is for the gun that you're going to use in the woods, as opposed to the open fields where, if you've got a 400 or 500 yard shot, or more, you definitely need a high powered rifle, and you need the optic to complement that as well.
Yeah, you need something you can reach out there and touch one if you're in open plains country, especially. So you got good equipment.
Yeah. Now, this hunt that we did this year, and Mr. Obvious got him a buck. We had a little run in with I guess physics. What happened, Mr. Obvious? Explain that to the folks.
Well, yeah, using a 6.5 Creedmoor is what happened. The bullet technology is just not there for the PRC rounds or the Creedmoor rounds. They got that long torpedo bullet. They're very, very explosive, and I'm having issues with 6.5 Creedmoor shooting the ELDX Hornady bullet, factory ammo at that.
Yeah.
They're exploding right in the shoulder. They're not getting through the shoulder into the chest cavity.
It was bad.
And it's bad. I mean,
Yeah.
the deer suffers. And that last year I killed a deer with it. I said, well, maybe it was just something went wrong.
Now, you shot that one twice or 3 times?
I shot that one 3 times.
I mean, come on.
And this one this year I killed. I
Yeah.
shot 3 times with a Creedmoor.
Yeah.
The bullet's exploding when it hits hair.
It was actually, he called me to come help look for it.
Yeah.
And we got out there, we started, and you saw where the hit was, and there was hair on the ground. No blood.
None.
No blood trail whatsoever. I mean, no blood. I started questioning. Now, I watch Mr. Obvious shoot all the time, and I said, surely to God, that was 243 yards. He didn't miss that. I said, you could darn near throw a football at it and hit it,
Yeah.
But it was across the valley. And we looked and looked and looked, called in another buddy of ours. He called himself the deer crime scene investigator, or the DSI, deer scene investigator,
Yeah.
he said. But he come out and help us. Sorry about the wind here, folks. Bear with us. We apologize. But he came out and helped us look. And finally, we got up into the field, and there he was.
Yep. He's up in
Like
the field.
2 hours later, still alive.
Up in the field, laying
Yeah.
in the field.
And so Mr. Obvious took another shot at him, and he dropped. And as we were walking up,
He's trying to get up again.
he's trying to get up again. And
Yep.
there is nothing more gut-wrenching to me than seeing something suffer.
Yeah.
And that deer, hats off to him. That was the toughest darn buck that had to ever live. But that was when we processed the deer out, we cut it open, trying to figure out what the heck happened. We couldn't see where the bullet holes were in the deer.
No.
Even with the close shots, you shot the one at like 75 yards. Then the final shot, he pretty much shot point blank.
Yeah.
And but we got up there to him and processed out the deer, and you couldn't even find the bullets. They did not exit that deer, and they exploded.
They exploded when they as soon as they went near the hide, just boom.
Oh, and it mangled the shoulder. You know,
So we started doing a lot of research on that, and
actually,
everybody's having that issue.
well, there was a great article in Outdoor Life by Natalie Krebs, and in that article they explain in detail, you know, the 243 and the 6.5 Creedmoor, apparently, according to this article, give very similar effects. When you shoot the deer, you're tracking it.
No blood trail.
And they were saying no blood trail, especially when you're using the ELDX bullets, which you know, I'm very disappointed in that. You know, I don't want to maim a deer. I want it to go down, and I want it to stay down. So you know, without just wearing this out, go ahead and read that article. I would highly recommend it. It's a good read. We experienced the same issue they're talking about here, and that's 2 different seasons in a row. And you know, a lot of people successfully hunt with the 6.5 Creedmoor, and I'm not telling you can't hunt with the 6.5 Creedmoor, but what I am saying is I'll never hunt with one.
I won't be hunting deer with mine anymore.
If it's not a 30 caliber or larger even, you know.
If it ain't gonna give me a pass through where I actually have a blood trail or something, I'm not gonna use it on deer side.
So that's all very important, and I can show you some examples of hunting bullets that I have here, and one is a Zombie Max, 168 grain Hornady. It's for a 308, and the one next to it there is a 180 grain Core-Lokt bullet. Both those have successfully brought down deer. I mean, I'm talking they don't take a step. When they get hit with that,
they drop like a sack of taters.
they stay hit, I'll tell you that. And they don't suffer. And you know, the deer within 30 seconds was dead both times. And my nephew even shot one with a 147 grain bullet. His first deer, it was a doe, and that thing was dead before it hit the ground. I couldn't believe it. But he got a perfect shot on that deer. That was pretty amazing. That was at 100 yards, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we said all that to say this. Research your caliber. Research the bullet you're going to use. Because on paper, and I'll show you the box here of that ELDX and the 6.5 Creedmoor, you can look at the speed there's on the back of the box. And, on, you know, just so you know what we don't like is this bullet. But they hearken this as being the premier hunting round. I can tell you, I don't want anything to suffer, and especially the meat was just ruined where it hit. That shoulder shot, it was just it exploded there, and the meat was ruined, and you couldn't do anything with it. So that's even more salt on the wound, so to speak, because now you can't use that meat. So those are all things that you have to consider. Let's move along here, and you know, kind of leading off of that. I have number 2 here. Know the laws.
Yeah.
Know your local gun laws. Know what calibers you're allowed to use, what capacity is allowed to be in your firearm, personal protective equipment. I would say definitely is very high on my list for important hunting tips. If you are hunting on public land, you want to be as orange can be. And Mr. Obvious has some coveralls that are great for that.
Yeah, it's orange right from head to toe.
I mean, I'm talking, I want to glow. I want to glow in the dark out there. Yeah. If you are on public land, you don't know how many people are there. No. And you don't know the level of training and stuff that people have. And, you know, fortunately, remarkably, you don't hear a lot. There's always an accident every season. But you don't hear it as often now, it seems like. And I think with the internet and everything, people have more information now. And I think people have a little more, not that they have more sense, it's the information's out there. They know what not to do. And don't shoot at something that you can't verify. But if I was on public land, I would be as orange could be. Yeah. Now hunting out here, I use this little vest we got here and an orange hat I throw on over my cowboy hat here. Where I'm at, there shouldn't be anyone else on my property but me. So it's myself, Mr. Obvious, and my nephew hunts it, and that's it. You know, and if there's anybody else, they're not supposed to be here. But Actually, I've got great neighbors. In fact, he had killed a buck. It was right at dark, and it ran over onto my place. He called me and said, "Can we come over there?" And absolutely, you can. It's not a problem. But I appreciate them calling. But yeah, so proper etiquette is important when hunting as well.
Yep, definitely.
So what's our number 3 here, Mr. Obvious?
I guess we're getting into
Comfort.
You
Yeah.
got to be comfortable.
Yeah.
You got to be. My coveralls I buy for another tips. I get them a little bit big on
Yeah.
me. My coveralls. That way I can get like fleece. See, this is fleece, real quiet, and this is warm. Cold as it is out here.
Yeah.
I've got this little thin, just warm line. Look at that,
Huh.
like sheep wool in there.
Got same thing.
Yeah. And you put coveralls over top of this, you're like a bug in a rug, baby.
Yeah.
Just as snug as a bug in a rug.
And-
Warm.
And I can tell you will miss 100% of the deer that you never see.
Yeah.
So if it's raining and you're wet, or it's just really bitter cold out, I don't care who you are, I don't care how tough you are. If you don't have to do it, it's very easy to talk yourself out of doing it.
Yeah.
You'll say, "This ain't no fun," and you'll go in, and you'll be sipping coffee, and there goes a 12-pointer, and so you missed your deer. So that's, don't be ashamed to get some Gucci gear, guys, and buy some good gear where you're comfortable. Now, I wear a pair of just Carhartt coveralls when I hunt. They are plenty warm for me, and I throw orange on over it.
Yep. Make sure you get good boots, something that's good and warm. And
Good warm boots.
if you're tree stand hunting and your feet still gets cold, you can buy them Arctic Shield boot covers and put on, and it's just like putting your feet down in bags. It just holds the heat. Them works great.
Now, when I first started hunting, and it's funny because it was before I joined the military, and I really got into hunting, and I'm out there. I was a teenager, and I wanted to, what we call in the military, embrace the suck. I wanted to get out there, man, and I'd get up 5 a.m. Sun don't come up till 7:30, and I was out there in a stand at 5 o'clock in the morning, sitting there just shivering in the cold, because I thought you're supposed to suffer for this, And a lot of that's just being a kid and being ignorant. But what's real funny is after I went into the military for 8 years and had to embrace the suck, I remember the first time I came home and it was raining outside, and I said, "Oh, I don't have to stand in this. Go in." Then it's so funny. You just get so used to it that now I'm at a point in my life I don't got to impress anybody. I want to be comfortable. So I'm going to wear good warm clothes and make sure that the hunt is enjoyable, because that to me is going to get you out of the woods quicker than anything. If you don't have to, you won't.
Yeah.
If you're starving, you'll sit up there as long as it takes to get your deer.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Don't move around a lot.
Don't move around a lot.
Yeah,
No.
stalking deer will keep you from getting them. Trust me.
Yeah. Trail cameras is another good one we got down here. So know your deer. Stay out of your woods as much as you can. You're scenting it up, and the deer's aware you're there. They kind of get skittish.
They
So
do.
Use trail cameras and
Use technology to your benefit.
and just stay out as much as you can. That works real good. I use them a lot.
Well, tell them about the scent thing you do.
For scenting in
This
the
is great.
woods, this is real good. I use cedar trees. I take cedar limbs and I go out with my knife and I just cut off a bunch of limbs and I'll throw them on the ground and I'll stomp on them and get them smelling real good. I'll stuff them in a big garbage bag. I'll put all my clothes in there, good and tight. And I just set it over to the side till I get ready to go hunting in a couple days.
Yeah.
And it's got all that cedar scent just embedded in all your clothes and everything. And I have deer and coyote and everything. They just walk right on top of me.
Yeah.
Now, that's a real good tip. You want good scent? That is good.
Well, smell like the
Cover
environment.
scent.
If you've got spruce tree scent and there aren't any spruce trees, the deer's going to notice that, man. They're going to, what the world is this cat doing,
Yep.
So, it's things like that, just smell like the environment. Now, these scent away sprays and stuff do work. I mean, I've used them.
The earth scent is the best I've used.
Yeah.
When you can find it.
And they do work. But like I said, if you're not in Colorado, you probably don't have spruce trees. And, you know, like out here, it's unless somebody planted a spruce, they're hitting a spruce.
Yeah.
But, so the spruce scent, I saw that at Walmart, that's why I'm bringing that up.
Yeah.
And I just started laughing. I'm like, where are they seeing the spruce?
Yeah.
So...
We got cedars here. So.
We got a lot of cedar. There are pine, few and far between. No ponderosa pine or nothing. Wouldn't that be cool? I love them. I love it out west. So, but anywho, that's my biggest thing. Know your location. Know your laws. Understand the caliber you're choosing and why you're choosing it, and know what it's going to do. Be comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. Have good equipment, use technology that's available to you. These are all things that will make you successful in your hunt. And then baiting, if you're allowed to bait, that's the easiest way to get a big buck. Bait them. They'll show up.
Yeah, and I see a lot of deer. I usually typically see more deer than anybody else. How you see that many deer? How you see that many deer?
He started filming it just to prove it.
Yeah, I started filming it to prove it.
Yeah.
You got to look way out in front of you, far as you can see.
Yep.
So the theory of that is if you look way out in front of you, if something moves through here, your eyes is going to catch it.
And let me tell you, that works.
Yeah, it works. Look way out as far as you can see. If anything in between that distance and here, if anything moves in that center zone, your eyes will see it. Always look as far as you can see.
And that even works in the woods, you know.
Yeah.
That works as a military tactic as well as a hunting tactic.
Yeah.
If you're in thick woods, just look to the horizon, the furthest point, you know, and scan and move slow and methodically when you move. That's another thing. Moving quick, especially if you're looking out and not directly in front of you, you're likely to trip over logs or step in a big sinkhole or something.
Yeah.
So move slow, move methodically. It's not difficult to get a deer. It is difficult to get a trophy.
Yeah.
They are few and far between, and you've got to be a good sportsman as well. And that means if you see a little guy like this, and he's got like two little horns popping up, let him go.
Yeah.
Don't shoot him.
Let the little ones grow up to be big ones.
Let them grow. Be a good sportsman.
And another thing, speaking of that, another big tip for hunting, if you're a person that likes to walk a lot, do what they call still hunting. It's where you walk 8 or 10 steps, stop, look, listen, wait a minute or two, take 8 or 10 steps, stop, look, listen. 'Cause if you do too much moving, the deer's going to see you first.
Now, a funny story about that. It was hunting season. This has been 5 years ago, and I was up here just walking around by myself. I wasn't expecting to get anything. It was, but I was walking and I heard something over the crest of the next hill. So I came up real slow, and man, I saw the top of a deer's head. So I got I got down, I low crawled, man, and I'm crawling up there, and I got up there and I got in a bowl. I was actually wearing this hat, and I turned like this towards the deer. It was a herd of doe there. They came up and sniffed me, man, and didn't run. It was so funny. I wasn't wearing any scent away stuff or anything, and I sat there and I just enjoyed that I was able to get that close to them. And of course, I wasn't going to shoot any of them, because at that point they were my friends. But I'm a terrible hunter. But no, I thought that was just so cool to be able to get that close to nature. I'm telling you, I think I could have pet them, but I didn't, obviously. But that was just so cool, and they would like kind of jump at me and move. Deer's funny. Yeah. They'll do funny things, but they were jumping at me, seeing if I'd move. I guess they couldn't get my silhouette because I was in a ball, and I was laughing, man. That was just so cool. And I wish I'd had a GoPro or something at the time. I could have filmed that. But, that's another thing. Out here where I'm at, these doe are almost like pets. They'll come up and they just look at me funny. Yeah, I'm sitting out here on the deck back here, and they'll just kind of look at me, and, so... Yeah, those will never get shot.
pets.
Yeah, they're basically pets at this point. But yeah, I'm looking for that big trophy buck.
Yeah,
So,
we'll get him one of these days.
no, oh man, I saw. We can tell stories all day long. I'll just let it go. But anyway, anything else we want to add to this, Mr. Obvious?
No, we might cover something later on.
Is there like a big secret that just nobody knows?
No,
I'd say the only secret is patience
yeah,
and being willing to wait. And that's the most successful hunters I've ever known could get in one spot and sit all day. All day. When everybody else is getting out for lunch, getting out of their deer stand, getting out of the woods, that's when the big buck comes, and that's when you get him. This guy, he packs his lunch if he eats. You know, he'd sit there all day long. And my uncle was that way. He would sit with a 44 Magnum, like you said. He killed more deer than anybody.
Yeah.
Just with a 44 mag.
Yeah.
And yeah, because he could sit still, and that's the big secret.
you got to be there when he's there.
Yep, patience.
Yep, patience. If you're not there when the big buck comes through, oh well, you lost him.
So is there anything else to add? I don't
That's
believe
it.
there is. All right, everybody. With that, remember, keep your knives sharp, keep your powder dry.
Subscribe to Last Minute Man.